Hi guys, my name's Isabella and I'm going to talk about the subconscious influences on decision making and how the brain chooses. So why this topic caught my eye is because personally I'm very indecisive. Even, for example, my parents will ask like all of my siblings what we want for dinner and they always say don't ask Bella because she's going to say I don't know, which is true. And so I kind of wanted to understand why I choose what I do and how my decision making can be enhanced. So, how this relates to our daily interactions is that decisions really make us who we are. We make decisions at almost every moment, from how to sit, what to eat, what to believe, who to talk to, what goals to go after. Every decision, big or small, shapes our interactions and experience of the world. And as the author in our book told us, decisions underlie our every action and thought. So, some of the findings about decision making in the brain that I saw were that, according to Eagleman, decisions are made when neural networks compete until one triumphs. They can be conscious or unconscious, and different decisions activate different areas of the brain. Decision making can also be influenced and enhanced. And all of this may seem obvious, but there is a lot going on in the brain behind the scenes. So, our conscious versus unconscious decisions. Conscious decisions involve deliberate thought and awareness, and they use logical and emotional thinking. They're good for complex and new situations. So, this is like when you're dealing with relationships, really anything that makes you think at all is really just are conscious decisions that you make versus unconscious decisions. They happen automatically, almost 24/7, outside of our awareness. They can be influenced unknowingly. They require less mental effort, and they're good for quick and efficient responses, such as your physiological responses, like in fear, and this is like the decision to breathe that you don't even really think about, stuff like that. And so different decisions in the brain different decisions activate different areas in the brain. So when we make decisions, whether conscious or not, different areas of the brain are being activated, depending on the nature of the decision. In a logical decision, areas such as the parietal, dorsolateral, and ventrolateral prefrontal cortices are stimulated. That's like the little green bubbles that I have on there. Although I didn't label them, that's what those areas are. In emotionally charged decisions, the anterior cingulate, medial prefrontal, and orbital frontal cortices are engaged. And those are the blue areas. This is obviously emotional decisions. Logical decisions are like doing math, doing very easy textbook decisions. So subconscious influences is kind of what I wanted to focus on, and these are the influences on decisions that we don't even think about, and that is with marketing, our rewards, and music. So marketing, the way a product, question, or anything is advertised subtly influences our intentions and decisions when buying or answering a survey or even a question. The value we place, so like the rewards, also influence our decisions by the instant gratification or the value we place on different options. And music is what I found most interesting. Music training in late childhood is associated with enhanced decision making. So how marketing influences our decisions. So default options, I don't know if anybody remembers or watched the TED Talk, but according to Dan Ariely, including default and inferior options makes the superior option more likely to be chosen. So that was when he had like ugly Tom, more attractive Tom was more likely to be chosen. He explained that we are not as rational as we believe and how available options influence what we decide. Another thing I found was that advertising attractiveness really influences what we buy and what we remember. So a 2016 study conducted by Chang and his colleagues revealed that different advertising methods activated different areas of the brain, And this was with like celebrity endorsements. So celebrity endorsed advertisements kind of activated memory areas versus non-celebrity endorsed activated more like self-reflection areas, like how is this going to look on me. And they also found that attractive advertising is what influences consumers' attitudes more positively, because obviously you want to buy something that looks appealing. And another thing I found was environmental influence marketing. So Sebastian Hetzler found that decision-making in complex situations is strongly influenced by psychological and social issues. And this was kind of like how to battle those marketing influences. And he stated that reducing biases, recognizing patterns, and group communication is vital in making good decisions and recognizing these marketing tactics. So the impact of rewards on decision-making also really caught my eye when I was reading the textbook, because it was like things that I didn't even realize. So placing value on different options when making decisions is major in the final outcome of a decision, especially when options are right in front of us. Most often, the final decision is the one with the highest reward. How we determine the value of rewards comes from past experiences and predicted outcomes. Options in front of us are most often picked over future rewarding options because of the instant gratification. And this is where the Ulysses contract comes in handy. And that's kind of like holding yourself accountable to your future self. And that really is like our subconscious, because we don't even, personally for me, I don't even realize how I'm placing value and how I'm using my past experiences to place value and reward on the different options I have, and how the present instant gratification and the power of now and what's in front of me really influences me to pick what is in front of me versus what can benefit me later. So finally, music can really enhance decision making, especially in late childhood. So Smida et al. Found that music training in late childhood impacts decision processes significantly. They found that late trained musicians, which is after the age of 8, performed better in the Iowa gambling task, which is a well-studied decision-making task. It's basically like a card game, and there's 2 decks that are better, and the children eventually figure that out. So children that were late trained musicians did better. And it is believed that the time of music training, specifically late childhood, is the most important determinant. This is due to the maturation and rapid development of brain areas such as the prefrontal cortex involved in decision making during this time. I just thought this was very interesting, because learning to play an instrument at such a young age really enhances, it showed like in the study, in the results, really enhances decision making. So the importance and impact of everything I learned was that understanding the processes that we partake in almost all the time is very important. To understand the background, understanding how the brain chooses can improve one's self-awareness and critical thinking. It can also help others inform behavior and mental health. And it's especially important to understand the subconscious influences on decision making to make better decisions and when drafting policies. Understanding the development and neurological reasons behind processes is very important when working with children, which is what I want to do. Being able to identify and maybe help children identify why they make the decisions they do can be beneficial, especially when decision making can be enhanced. So that's like implementing music. If it's in a study and the results are there, implementing music is such an easy way to help those children become better in their decision making. And who knows, maybe if I had gone through that, maybe I would be better in my decisions right now. And I just think it's really important and really cool to just see all the things in the brain that we don't even realize are influencing us in our decision making. And here are our references. Thank you all for listening.